Hello, everyone. Beside COVID-19, one of the hottest topic in town is cryptocurrency. Is the price going up? Is the price coming down? My name is Richard Tan from Success Resources. We are the world leading educational provider. Every week, we will be making video talking about cryptocurrency investing. So if this is a topic that you are interested in, remember to subscribe, gently tap the notification so that whenever we have a video, you will be the first to know. Okay, right now, welcome everybody, and we are very happy and fortunate to have my friend who is an expert on financial investing, none other than Dr. Clemen Chiang with us. Welcome, Dr. Clemen Chiang.
Thank you so much, Richard, and thank you everybody for turning up at the studio and watching us live on the video. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen Chiang. Now, for those of you who have been following the video, you know that over the last couple of video, Dr. Clemen Chiang has deciphered many news and knowledge in the market so that ordinary people, ordinary investor can take this knowledge and this news to decide what they want to do. And many of the price point, many of the chart, etc., that Dr. Clemen Chiang has shared is something that many of us may take a long time to understand, but he make it into a very layman language so that ordinary people can understand and can make a decision in their investing. So Dr. Clemen Chiang, thank you once again. Thank you once again. Now, Dr. Clemen Chiang, over the last couple of months where I got involved and interested in Bitcoin, someone that is very prominent in the market and in the industry, he is none other than Mr. Michael Saylor. Now, he's the founder and CEO of MicroStrategy, someone that many people respect because of the way he do things and his thought and his philosophy of Bitcoin. Now, in one of his interview, Michael Saylor say this. He give an example of the category of different crypto asset. Now, he refer Bitcoin to a piece of valuable land in the heart of New York that is worth billions of dollars. I mean, today, if you have $1 billion, you can maybe buy a small plot of land in the middle of New York. So how valuable it is. Now, he says that on the land, you can build buildings, and that he referred to as like Ethereum and Cardano, the utility token coin, right? Now, in the building, you can have offices that will be like Uniswap, etc. And people can rent the office to run their business. That would be all the small coins like Dogecoin, etc. You know. Now, he says that business sometimes come and go, right? Short term. And that's what he referred to all the main coin. Many business won't last very long, right? Then he says that offices depend on the lease. It could be a year or 5 years or 10 years. Offices that could be like the Uniswap, you know, and then that could be those Ethereum, etc. Now, then the building on the land can be there for 10 years to 100 years, but land can be there for thousands of years. He refer Bitcoin as the land, and the value will increase over the years, and it could last for thousands of years. That is Michael Saylor's philosophy. What do you think of the analogy that he just gave, and what is your own point of view to Bitcoin?
Wow, and what a great start. What an awesome question, Richard. You know, you started talking about land and my mind got all fired up because when you mentioned about Manhattan, I got to show you the really prime piece of property sitting right in Manhattan, and it's really connected to the world of all the big fat whales out there who own land for the longest time. And we are talking about generational heritage or generational inheritance. So right now, I'm going to kind of switch my screen right over and give all of our viewers the kind of perspective in terms of what kind of prime land we are looking at in Manhattan. And then we're going to correlate to Michael Saylor right over here. So the number one most beautiful land in Manhattan is none other than 666 Fifth Avenue. This is owned by Donald Trump's son-in-law, And
Wow.
this is like the hallmark of everything that's represented there. So there is a Kushner Company's real estate empire. And he bought it in 2017 for $1.8 billion. And of course, today the price is much, much higher than what it is used to be. So the analogy of the land is really perfect, spot on. And with that, we kind of turn on to the idea that, okay, how do you view Bitcoin or digital currencies as an investable asset class? This is the point in time we need to really focus our mind into this website called Bitcoin Treasuries. .org. Right now it's called buybitcoinworldwide.com. All right. Now, what this website does is document all the public holdings of Bitcoin. And when I kind of zoom into this area right here, and it's like kind of really, really crazy because over here we're gonna see woohoo! Right at number one is none other than MicroStrategy. And the owner of MicroStrategy is none other than Michael Saylor, because today he owns about 105,085 Bitcoin. That's about $3.3 billion worth as of today. And for that amount, he only controls 0.5% of the fixed supply of 21 million Bitcoin. Now, this is mega, but what is really more interesting about Michael Saylor is that he make use of a public listed company, cash in bank, to buy Bitcoin, not out of his own pocket. It is from the public markets. And all of our listeners really got to know the number one top shareholder of MicroStrategy is none other than the largest money manager of the world, and that is BlackRock. So with this information, Richard, you kind of he's spot on. And that's the reason why we really need to kind of follow Michael Saylor and everything that he's tweeting about. And in fact, I want to highlight to our audience right here today, the most important tweet was made on 21st of June. So let me click onto this 21st of June tweet by Michael Saylor right over here. Ding! And right now, for those of us in the Bitcoin world, we are all packed with the really fanciful, what I call the laser eyes. Now, what is so important about this tweet, and this tweet was posted on 21st of June, is this very specific information. He owns 105,000 Bitcoins. But what we truly want to know is the average price of all his accumulated Bitcoin today standing at $26,080. This is the most important price for this season. So everybody, please take out your black book and write it down and make sure you document this price. Because with this price, then and only then we can come back and look at the chart of Bitcoin. So this is Bitcoin chart, and on the one-day candle. And as you all know right now, we've gone through from the Bitcoin halving good old days of 12th of May last year, and I was trading at this time zone right here. Average price, we paid about $8,000 per Bitcoin, shot all the way to the all-time high of 64,000. All right. Now I'm going to zoom in right now so that all of you have the benefit of what I'm looking at right now. This is currently trading at $31,000 today, as in right now. But the good news is it's trading above 26080, because the second point you want to write down is that Michael Saylor today has $1 billion cash in hand on standby to buy even more Bitcoins. All right. So the 26080 back then you saw, or the 100,000 Bitcoins that I shown you just now, he already bought it with all his cash, but he still got one more pile of cash, $1 billion to be exact, ready to buy even more Bitcoin. So what is the thesis from this point onwards? We are looking at 31,000 today. And as I kind of zoom out, then you will know there are two really important areas to look out for. First is the 40,000 to 30,000 range. I'm going to put it right here. And the second is the 26,080. So you are looking at what it takes to touch Michael Saylor's break-even price. This is really, really important because he will not allow someone to mess up his price. He has another $1 billion war chest. But more importantly, he has right now even put in much more powerful investors on board. I'm going to show you the latest article right now that we're going to kind of blow all of our mind apart. And here we go. He has right now attracted a $1 trillion asset manager known as the Capital International Group to buy up 12% of his public company known as MicroStrategy. This is the biggest news right now. And, I'm going to show you the variations of this news article. Like right over, Richard, this is like huge, 12% stake. 12% stake in the public world is a very, very big stake. And more importantly is that this is a $1 trillion asset manager. So I'm going to show you the important paragraph right here. Check this out. So the Capital Group has $7.6 billion in annual revenue and $2.3 trillion in assets under its management. That's a monster. Wow. Now, if we take this idea and we plot it out right now on the stock chart of MicroStrategy, all right? So the idea was planted on which day? Let's take a look at the dates right now. That's on 13th of July. 13th of July, this news came out, and we go to the stock chart right now. So 13th of July is somewhere around here, all right? Right here, when the stock price was trading about $600. Now, you can see this is right now a very, very powerful price range at $600 per share. The guy has not gone down. In fact, the guy since May has gone up. That is the stock price of MicroStrategy. I'm going to do one last step to kind of give us the context to the relevance. Is I'm going to compare it with BTC-USD. Check this out. And I'm going to put Bitcoin right over there. And right now, all of you can see very, very clearly. Let me just kind of get the right zoom in place. This is the price of Bitcoin in the light blue. All right. So in the light blue, what you're going to see, holy moly, Bitcoin went down, the stock price went up. There's a divergence. And these big players will not go out to the marketplace. Richard, they will not go out there to buy 1 or 2 Bitcoin or buy it themselves. They will buy it through a bridging company. And the bridging company today is MicroStrategy. You guys seen the divergence right there? And that's the confidence you're looking at. Big whales believe in MicroStrategy. And how about all of you out there? Are you ready?
Yeah. So, Dr. Clemen, are you saying that because the Bitcoin price went down, and this big company, what's the name of the company again?
MicroStrategy.
Yeah, the other company that bought the share is
Capital Group.
Capital Group. Now, are you saying that Capital Group bought the share of MicroStrategy?
Yes.
Is indirectly buying a Bitcoin at low price. That's the reason why the market see this as positive, right? See this as positive that they have capitalized on a very good opportunity. Is that what the market is saying?
Well, that's a very good question, Richard. There are 3 steps to your question. Step 1, for a very large asset manager like the Capital Group with more than $1 trillion asset under management, otherwise known as AUM, they will not have the technology or the resources to physically go out there to buy Bitcoin. And they do not know where to keep it, otherwise known as the custodian. So they have to go through step 1. In order to own Bitcoin, they will own the company that's the number 1 expert in buying Bitcoin. And that is MicroStrategy, step 1. And step 2, what MicroStrategy will do is, because they are buying so much Bitcoin, they do not want to cause major price fluctuations. So they already have the technology to buy at the rate of 0.1 to 0.3 Bitcoin per second without affecting the marketplace. And that is step 2. Then step 3, MicroStrategy, through the CEO, Michael Saylor, has already announced to the world, hey, I got $1 billion cash. Hey, I also got right now a 12% shareholder who has $1 trillion asset under management that's working through me. Now, what's your stand on Bitcoin? Because I will keep putting my money out there for Bitcoin till the ends of the earth. That's the famous words by Michael Saylor.
Anyway, Michael Saylor, is known to have kept all the Bitcoin that he bought and never even sell a single Satoshi of it, right? He is a big believer of Bitcoin. Now, thank you for your wisdom on deciphering that piece of valuable news. Now, today, a friend of mine who has invested in Bitcoin told me he woke up in the morning and saw Bitcoin price in the red, and he got so stressed that he jumped back into the bed and sleep, Now, Bitcoin is now trading on the lower end of the 30 to 40,000. Today is 31,000. We can see that there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the market. Many people predict that it has been around sideways for a long time and predict that it may even drop further. They are wondering what to do. Some people want to HODL, hold on to dear life, okay? Like hold on, right?
Hang on for dear life.
Yeah, hang on for dear life. Or some want to cut loss or cash out and never want to see Bitcoin again. Some want to dollar cost averaging. Some want to do nothing. So Dr. Clemen Chiang, what do you have to say to all these people?
Wow, that's a very, very intelligent and highly enlightening question, because first of all, your friend jumped into the bed. Thank God he didn't jump out of the building. So that it was the right move. All right, he jumped back into the bed. But I want to give some comfort to our community of Bitcoin hodlers out there. HODL, hang on for dear life. FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. This is very normal. But if you look at a chart like this, most people will not take the effort to kind of zoom in and zoom out like what I'm showing all of you right now. So I want to teach you this step. This is like a therapy to those of you who are suffering in fear or is suffering in severe uncertainty or suffering in doubt. Do this for a moment. Take this as a physical exercise, all right? You look at the chart. Right now, I'm looking at 1 year, and then I zoom in. I zoom in, and then I zoom out again. But why am I doing this? Because there are 3 steps to this solving a pain point in yourself. Number 1, that is this. Have we actually taken the step to really know what is the time distance? The time distance is mid of May, where it dropped. And today is mid of July, where we are right now. We have effectively only gone through 2 months. Not even 2 quarters, not even 2 years, not even 2 decades. Just 2 months of waiting it out. And these 2 months, they do not represent anything at all, because there are only 3 things that happen in these 2 months. So let's line this up together. Number 1, China came out with the news to ban Bitcoin mining, as all of us know today. And all these miners, Richard, you have shared with us, they fled to Kazakhstan, they fled to Texas, restart their mining operations. And as a result, all these mining plants or hydro plants in China itself are putting up for sale, run out of business already, no more customer, all right? So they have put out the media that 90% of the Bitcoin miners have fled China. That means to say they have effectively eradicated all the miners in China. So the worst news already been released. My question to all the audience is, how many more bad news can come from China? No more bad news, right? But step 2, recently came a second bad news, but not related to the cryptocurrency world, but more related to Wall Street, where China went after their own Chinese companies. Didi, which is the counterpart of Uber in China, ring the bell on NASDAQ, and bam, within 2 days, crash. Right now, it's going towards like 50% loss already, near target. And why? Because the Chinese government is telling Didi, hey, I do not want you to list on US soil. And if you do that, I'm going to ban your app. And that's exactly what they did. All of the Didi, hundreds of apps have been removed from the Play Store across China. And the consequence of that, Alibaba, Tencent, and all the Chinese companies are right now suffering. So 2 bad news already, right? Now, the Bitcoin has sustained 2 major bad news, and see the price right now. It didn't collapse. It is just sitting on a seesaw, going sideways. Over how long? 2 months only. Then you have to ask yourself, what other bad news can possibly come out of it? I put out a thesis recently, and I was thinking about this issue, and I was reflecting, Richard, I was watching the 100-year anniversary, and President Xi was telling the whole world, we will bash up all the enemy's brains until your brain is bashed up and you will bleed all over with blood, right? That was the really 4-letter word that we remember throughout the entire ceremony. But one important message was said in the 100-year anniversary message by President Xi. There is a renewed focus to what he called the reunification of Taiwan, to bring back Taiwan into the Chinese land. Now, let's play the devil's advocate right here, everybody. In the event China does want to invade Taiwan, to take back Taiwan and claim as its own sovereignty. And this idea was already preached about like more than 15 years ago by our founding father, Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore. And back then he said this, if China invades Taiwan, the US will not come to Taiwan's rescue. This was already talked about 15 years ago. Now, let's say this thesis is true, all right? Because they gone crazy. They banned Bitcoin. They banned their own Chinese companies listing in US exchanges. I'm talking about the third point. What if they decided to take back Taiwan? Where is the place for Bitcoin? Let me share with all of you, in times of uncertainty, there is this idea of flight to safe haven. Bitcoin will be the key asset. And we always track back in history, any times when there's an outbreak of war, like one recent example, Richard, recently in recent years, like last 2 years, when Iranians shot down a US drone, you know what happened to Bitcoin? Spike up, because all the Iranians were ready to run away from the country, and they moved their money into Bitcoin because they were expecting Donald Trump to drop bombs in Iran. So this is all correlated. So if you say that the 3 points do really happen, the worst news that can ever come from China will be invasion of Taiwan, Ray. I do not see what other worst news to come. And right now, please take a look, everybody. We are still sitting on a seesaw at 30,000. The price has not collapsed at all. This first collapse was the very collapse due to what we call the Elon Musk scandal, when he denounced Bitcoin, and 2 days later, China came out to ban Bitcoin mining. That's about it. So let's get this context back in mind, and I hope your friend will jump up, and first thing that he should do is to watch our YouTube videos.
Thank you. Dr. Clemen Chiang, I know that you have been in the financial market actively for many, many years. And when the cryptocurrency exploded and you were there, right? It had gone down, you were there also. Yeah, it gone down, go up, you're there for during all this period of upheaval, and also in the Bitcoin explosion. Now, the third question for you is this. In the area of Bitcoin investing, who is your role model, and why are they your role model?
Wow, that's a really, really great question. In fact, when I first started investing in Bitcoin, that was in the year 2018, the year after the price of Bitcoin hit the peak of all-time high 19,000. And I was late into the game, Richard, But the thing about Bitcoin is you are really never late until at this point in time where you receive all the information. It is never a late game. It's never about first mover advantage or anything like that. It's more about our commitment and our conviction. So back then in 2018, I entered the market. My inspiration was this guy called CZ, founder of Binance. I say, wow, this guy is a technologist. He's able to build such a fantastic platform, and he was able to evade the clampdown in 2017 when China went after all the crypto exchanges. He was the last man standing. When China went to close down OKEX, close down Huobi, and CZ was telling the whole world, no, you can't touch me because I hold a Canadian passport. And that's how he became de facto leader number one. Every of the Chinese customer fled over to Binance. He kept the exchange running 24/7. He was my inspiration in 2018. Fast forward to 2019, I drew so much inspiration from the Chinese whales. I say, oh my God, firsthand I see a young chap holding like few thousand Bitcoins in the wallet. I see people buying buildings like $30 million paid down with Bitcoin. I see people buying cars with Bitcoin. Oh my God, I say, this is a different world. And when I start hanging out with all these whales, I see, wow, they really live the life of a pure crypto life. They have no physical cash with them. Everything that they own is purely in digital assets. Bitcoin, USDT, Ethereum, and whatever not, right? And I started hanging out with these people and entered into a whole new world. And for 2019, I kind of fast forward to 2020, and that's the time I got so inspired by trying to find out who are the really Wall Street insiders entering to Bitcoin. And I got two superheroes. Number one is James Simmons. He's already looking at the Bitcoin futures market, which is the largest market of the world. Number two, Paul Tudor Jones. He's effectively, officially the first Wall Street guy to buy Bitcoin together with me on 12th of May during the third Bitcoin halving. And that was like crazy. And it was a never late game because only in October 2020, then Michael Saylor surfaced out of nowhere and announced to the world he bought Bitcoin. So can you see, ladies and gentlemen, we are never really late into the game. It's just really waiting for the next big fat whale, or I call insiders, to come out and announce to the world that he's going to own Bitcoin. So since then, you ask me about superheroes. We have Paul Tudor Jones. We have Michael Saylor. We have Jack Dorsey also buying up Bitcoin. We have Elon Musk buying up Bitcoin. We have George Soros coming out to buy Bitcoin. We have Carl Icahn coming out to buy Bitcoin. We have Sovereign Wealth Fund Temasek coming out to buy Bitcoin. Holy moly, it doesn't end there. And actually, really deep down in my heart, the real role model of us all is this very important guy. His name is called Richard Tan. He came out to lead the global Bitcoin festival movement. You know what that means for all of us here? We have a de facto leader right now. Yeah, Richard. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, I didn't expect my name to be in your list, but I really believe in Bitcoin after I hear the interview between Tony Robbins and Michael Saylor, and Michael Saylor's philosophy and the way he described what Bitcoin is all about, right? Because Bitcoin is a digital gold. Now, gold is a very rare, precious metal that God gave to human being, but it is not unlimited, because as the gold price go up, people can dig for more gold. As gold price go up, people can melt their jewelry for gold. As gold price go up, people can fly to the moon or to asteroid to mine for gold. But Bitcoin is the only financial asset that is limited. Today, if you have $1 billion, you have $1 trillion, you cannot create more than 21 million pieces of Bitcoin, because it's limited and it is a store of energy, and which it doesn't belong to any government, doesn't belong to anybody, but it belongs to the human race. Now, as such, I'm very excited about Bitcoin, and I believe that Bitcoin is a financial instrument that can help you create wealth. Not only help you create wealth, but help your generation to come, right, to contain the wealth that you've created right today. And that's the reason why we are organizing the Global Bitcoin Festival this October. It is a gathering of industrial expert and enthusiastic community of Bitcoin holder to update, promote, educate, and adoption of Bitcoin. It is a movement. It is a movement. We do, Dr. Clemen Chiang. Now, what do you think of the people that want to know more about Bitcoin and want to capitalize on this opportunity?
Wow, and I'm so excited, Richard, when you announced the launch of the Global Bitcoin Festival that's coming up in October. We really don't have much time left right now. So July gone 1 month, August gone 2 months, September gone 3 months, and that's it. We're going to touch October. So for the next 3 months, what's really important for every one of us in the community is really get rooted down on the foundation. First, our basic foundation must be right. So my question to all of us in the audience is that before we reach to the Global Bitcoin Festival, what are you doing about it to build your foundation? So simple things like, have you deposited a coin before in your wallet? Have you done a withdrawal of coins from your wallet? Do you even have a Bitcoin wallet to begin with? So these are really standard foundational questions that we have to deal with. And that's the reason why, Richard is our leader right here, taking us in this movement, get us rooted in the correct education and the right foundation. So step one, you got to do it for the next 3 months. Hang out with us on this YouTube series, really go out there. Every question that Richard posts is actually not to me. It's to everybody to get us acquainted with the foundation of Bitcoin. Then step two, when you arrive at the Global Bitcoin Festival in October, my question to all of us is that, what is your contribution? Don't sit there as a spectator. I want you to be a participant. And, on Sunday, I watched Sir Richard Branson, gone on the first space flight to the moon, to the edge of Earth, 80 kilometers out there. And when he landed, they put a badge. He's an astronaut. That took 15 years in the making, my friends. Now, you don't need to wait 15 years to come to Global Bitcoin Festival. Because when you come at the festival, you must straight away take action on that 2 days event. And what's happened after the festival? Because by then we're touching November, December. Let me tell all of you right now, every pundit, every analyst on Wall Street to the crypto world is saying that November, December is the major spike of Bitcoin. And that's the reason why there's so much wisdom that, Richard organized it in October, because he wants our entire community to catch the spike before it happens. And that's the reason why I urge all of you quickly go out there and register for the event, but not just as a spectator, as a participant. Over to you, Richard.
Wow, thank you. Now, as I say, that the Global Bitcoin Festival is a movement. It's a movement that gather all the people together to promote and adoption of Bitcoin. It's an energy, right? And with all the people promoting this movement, there is no other direction that Bitcoin will go except going up, right? So it's good for us. It's good for our generation to come.